across the nation. And also, you can call live into the studio to be a part of the program, to drop your comments, contributions, and analysis on the headlines that will be reeling out this morning. You can call 0706 048 5853. I'll take that number again, 0706 048 5853. Alternatively, you can call 0915 570 8347. That is 0915 570 8347. You can send a text message, and you can also send WhatsApp messages on those lines. Remember to also follow Vote FM on Facebook at Vote 1043 FM. You have to write that together so that you can be shown to our page. Welcome. This morning we are going to start immediately from the Vanguard newspaper this morning to give you some of the major headlines that are on there. Intelligence failure is responsible for security crisis in Nigeria, coming from Governor Oyebanji. Okay, let's see if we can grab a little more. Crude oil prices fall to $73 per barrel as Middle East tension ease. All right, that seems to be a good news, but we'll see what that will translate in the Nigerian oil market. All right, also on the Vanguard this morning, Fashola urges Lagos to streamline building approval processes. If you've been following the news, lots of buildings in Lagos have been marked for demolition because of a wrong documentation and, of course, wrong positioning of those structures and buildings. So I hope that Lagos State is trying to do something to reduce that number. It's falling into 300s or so. All right. Still on the news this morning, Kekere Ekun, that is the new Chief Justice of the Federation, warns judges that delayed justice risks public confidence in judiciary. I'll take that again. Kekere Ekun warns judges delayed system risks public confidence in the judiciary. I believe that this particular advice is very important at this time in the country, considering our faith in the judiciary and the actions of the judiciary, which has led to that rather lack of faith in the system. So I believe that her advice is in the right place. You can call in to react, comment, or analyze the situation with me this morning. Let's see more stories that we can grab. Okay, on the Enugu EFCC urban radio situation, the EFCC denies arresting radio presenter on live program in Enugu. All right, this is one of the EFCC's responses to the issue at hand. We will get into that a lot later on the show, but let's grab a lot more headlines so that you can have your turn in reacting to them. Okay, 2015. Federal government unveils new scheme to control inflation and, of course, to create jobs. Okay, so we hope that they make that happen for real. Okay, we're really expectant. We want something to happen as soon as possible. Okay, so on the Punch newspaper this morning, Dangote meets marketers on Tuesday for a new petrol price. Yeah, so I hope that meeting happened, though we haven't gotten details on the outcome of the meeting, which I believe that before probably the end of today, we would see something that will help us to know how far they came to or what conclusions they had reached in their meeting, so that we would see where that would place us as a nation. Let's move over to the Punch newspaper this morning. Oyedepo defends leadership retirement and urges critics to mind themselves. I'll take that again on the Punch newspaper this morning. Bishop Oyedepo defends leadership retirement and urges critics to mind themselves. And this is after the approval for him to have his own airstrip in the country, a special privilege that is not given to so many. This would probably be one of the firsts that we've ever seen any civilian uh, get this much recognition and preferred treatment in the country. But that's what's on the news this morning. Okay, marketers plan petrol import to bridge shortfall. Okay, so there's a lot of strategy on ground with our oil. We just want results. I just want something to happen. Okay, it's a lot of intricacies on these issues. I just want something to happen, something good. I want to come here some morning and then tell you something good has happened, and it would be a really good day. That will make me happy. But let's move on this morning from 175 naira to 1030 naira. That is how PMS prices have skyrocketed under Tinubu as petroleum minister. This is also on the Punch newspaper this morning. All right, still on economic affairs, high petrol price pushes inflation to 32.70%, says reports. Okay, and also CBN is to unveil revamped website soon, says CBN Director Cardoso. All right. EFCC arrests radio host over 700 million naira Ponzi scheme. This is the EFCC's reason for the arrest, the abrupt, unprofessional arrest of Miss Favor Echo of Urban Radio. The EFCC has responded with their own press release. We will get into that, but we will be done with all the headlines first, and then we will get into details of most of the stories that we have, reeled out this morning. Don't forget, you can join me. Drop your comments, questions, contributions, and analysis on any of these headlines. You can call into the studio. You can also send us a text message or a WhatsApp message, 0706 048 5853, also 0915 570-8347. Remember to keep your comments clean, simple, and civil so that we don't break any rules this morning. You're welcome. Are you there? Good morning to you, sir. How are you? Fantastic. Your name and location, please. Welcome, Amos.
Okay. I just want to comment about the issue that happened at the Urban Radio
Yes, sir.
4.5.
Yes, sir.
So the GFCC is denying that they did not, patch into the studio
Mm-hmm.
a live streaming program that Serbico was anchoring. And in fact, I was a witness to that event because I was listening to that radio. And the thing happened at 6:35.
It was
on
live. People heard. People heard
Hello, can
the.
you hear?
Yes, Amos, it was live. People heard some of the interaction. Yes, you're correct.
Yes, the thing happened live, and they just backed into the studio. They made the staff to sit on the playground, on the play floor. So it's a dehumanization. And this is what we are talking about in Nigeria. The unprofessionalism of our two-called security agencies and the agencies of government, the institutions of government. This is a problem here. I don't in the 21st century that all these things are happening. Uninformed is not even right to the management of that establishment for anything, and all of a sudden they just back into the studio, live streaming program. My dear, I don't know what is happening in Nigeria. This is quite very unfortunate. It's quite very unfortunate. And maybe I was listening, and you did not read something about it, Soludo.
I mean, you called. I've not finished. I was just going from newspaper to newspaper.
Yes, something in the daily this morning, Soludo opposed the autonomy of local government in Nigeria.
Soludo has been in the news from Monday sit-at-home enforcement to the local government problems he's having. But
what we are talking about, maybe in a lawless society, it is even illegal to be law abiding. You see the caliber of Suludo, a professor for that matter, trying to obstruct what the Supreme Court has affirmed in Nigeria, granting a financial autonomy to the local government areas in Nigeria. But a professor of his caliber is now watching the order. Eh?
Well, Amos, there's I have a question. Why do you really think that psychophancy has begun to find its way into governance? Because the truth is, no matter how outraged we get, we need to find out the root of these problems. You just mentioned the caliber of people who are doing these things. We've seen Senator Godswill Akpabio, that is the Senate President of the Nigeria's National Assembly. We've seen him make very careless statements that you wouldn't expect from a man of his stature and a man with his responsibility.
Yes.
Now, why do you think that our leaders can afford to speak to our populace like that? Why do you think these behaviors are happening unchecked?
Maybe.
Sir.
It is obvious that the democracy that we operate in is just different from what is obtainable in other advanced economy, like America and other places like India. So, in fact, that's why I always say that what we are practicing is plutocracy. You understand me?
If we're practicing something else, I would prefer it if it was laid on clear terms. We can't say we have a democratic system and we are experiencing the kinds of things we're experiencing. Do you know that the national greed, the one that happened yesterday, will be the seventh fall for the year? It will be the seventh time that the national grid has fallen in 1 year. And in all of that time, we've not seen one person taking into accountability or responsibility for these actions. Why do you think this is?
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Amos.
I just, in a jiffy, I just want to say something.
Okay.
You see this hula value, our senators and others are making.
Yes.
So this is just because of the oil money. That is aside this what they call it, that location that they get from the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
If it happens that all those the resources dry, see, nobody will talk about Nigeria again.
You think so?
The only thing that is holding us together is because of the oil. If the oil dries today, paraventure the oil dries today, nobody, those people that are kicking against Biafra will ask us to go our way. That's what I want to say. Thank you very much.
Wow. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Amos. To have a great day ahead of you. Join the conversation, drop your comments, contributions, ideas, and analysis on any of these headlines. 0706 048 5853. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Nathan.
Hey, good morning, my man. How are you?
Yeah, fine.
Welcome, sir.
On that issue of urban reduction and invasion,
yes, sir.
I've been talking. I don't know how to place Favor's number. I've been trying to reach him.
Okay.
I want to get the first-hand information of what transpired. And I don't know how I lost her number.
Well, I went to the EFCC office myself yesterday, and I was able to speak to her and the manager of Urban Radio. And of course, the situation from what Urban Radio had put out in their statement seems to be the situation. But of course, from the response of the EFCC this morning, of course, what is showing up on the press seems to be different. But I can tell you from our associations and from our gatherings that the EFCC head, that is all the way in Abuja, sent in a comment, or rather a press statement to media houses in Enugu. We have an association And of course, there's been apologies from all angles, from all bodies. But the press statement from the EFCC this morning, probably from their investigations, there seems to be a 700 million naira related Ponzi scheme from clients of Urban Radio, whom Favor managed to be interviewing. So what will happen is that I'm going to read you the statement of the EFCC, and then I'll give you a bunch of information on what's really going on.
Okay, it
Mm-hmm,
is good
mm-hmm.
that you get the first-hand information.
Oh
So you don't have
yes.
to
Oh
get
yes.
overblown the issue
Oh yes.
of what happened. I know if I have caught Favour now, I don't know how to place her number. She would have given me details of what transpired, what was the reason for that invasion. So that what I hate then was maltreatment of the other staff there. I don't know if you are getting me.
Yes, I
The other
myself, I
staff
am.
that I have communicated to, they were meant to sit on the floor.
Yes.
Why?
Some
Why?
their phones were taken from them. There was some harassment that
There were
happened there.
harassment. So
Yes.
this is what is condemnable. Whatever
Mm.
the HPLCC had against Favour, and after they must have gotten Favour, they still lay some of them on the ground. So this is an issue that should be taken up, and I think many people are onto it,
Oh yes.
and,
Oh
and the
yes.
truth will come out,
Oh yes.
whatever happens.
Oh yes.
So in investigation, you don't need to be sentimental on this.
Mm-mm.
I don't know if you are getting me.
Yes. Yes, I'm with you on
Until you
that.
get from the both sides,
I'm with
then
you on
you
that.
articulate.
I'm with you on that.
You articulate. So that is why you don't rush to such a movement, because they are responsible for whatever they do,
Mm.
whether rightly or wrong. They are
Okay.
responsible for it, and
Okay.
they know the implication of what they did
Mm.
if in truly they erred.
Okay. Okay.
So coming to Soludo
Mm.
and the deduction of local government funds, please, I would like one of the government officials of Anambra State government
Mm-hmm.
to appear on a radio to tell us the reason. For me, someone like me, I like to know the reason, because I know that once the federal government wanted such a thing,
Mm-hmm.
and the state government resisted it,
Mm-hmm.
they even went to up to Supreme Court, and
They
they got
went.
a favorable judgment.
They went to court. That is true.
They went to court, and they got, that is when Chibika Amechi. So I want to know the reason for this act. Can't the local government on their own go to court?
It turns out from some of the analysis that even you have made here on some of these conversations, you remember when that autonomy was first given to the local government. I think you even mentioned that most of the governors would not even let them, have all that power. Because at the end of the day, it seems to favor the both parties, which is why the local government chairmen themselves are not kicking about it. Don't you see?
How I wish there would be resistance from one
From one of the parties,
one of the
chairman.
We need
Really?
someone that can come up and resist it, so that the power of the local government should be tested.
Mm.
If we have not done such a thing, there's no way we can conclude things. Let one of them, even yes, you are the one who sponsored me, you are the one who did it, but I'm not going to do this. Take him to court.
But some people will call that disloyalty and ungratefulness. If you look at the Fubara and Wike situation, it seems the servitude, we seem to have a servitude problem. Everybody is loyal to some master, and that they can't, even for the benefit of the people, break that servitude and loyalty.
And maybe there's no loyalty in dishonesty.
Mm.
I stress it here. There is no loyalty in dishonesty. So someone cannot tell you to be dishonest so that you become loyal to him. It's outrightly no for me. So the issue of being loyal to a dishonest act, I don't conceive it. I don't conceive it. So one of them, how I wish if I were the federal government, Eh?
Mm-hmm.
What I could have done now, since they want that law to be established, sponsor one or two local governments from each state to revolt against this thing. And when they revolt against it, then the matter would still go back to court. And when the court gave order, the federal government on their own. You see, if you want to stop all these things, you can stop it. It's not that we are the beneficiaries of the rot in the system. If you want to stop it, if one person come out now and say, no, I'm not going to pay, just like Fubara did, he will gather support. He will gather support. So, we need to test our power. It's only when you test your power that you know how effective that your power is.
But again, don't forget, especially this time around, where the party that is in charge of the state is able to gather all the local governments in terms of winning them. And it seems like instead of electing these local government chairmen, they were handpicked by the governor who is sitting, allegedly. Now, how would we expect such men who were handpicked and favorably privileged to be in those positions? How do we expect that they would rise up and revolt against the governors who had picked them?
Each and every elected position has been handpicked and picked.
Abi?
So you know that it's there now. Who brought you there? Is it not Obiano? What is his relationship with Obiano now? Tell me now.
Okay.
Our governor, are there not people who brought you? In one way or the other, somebody must put you there, collectively or individually. Some people may be responsible for you being in that office.
Okay.
I don't know if you're getting me. So,
I'm listening to you.
If you on your own can vote and go and tell me all those governors that former governors that brought in their governors, go and check their relationship now. They may not be even talking. They may not be even talking now. For now, I'm telling you, go and check it.
Okay,
so if that's disloyalty, you can be disloyal. How then do you want another person to be loyal to you? There's no way. We saw what Kwankwanso did to Ganduje. On a matter of time, Ganduje spoiled the relationship that sang over years.
So you're saying it can be broken, huh?
It can be broken. Once you have broken your own, another person can break yours. There's no two ways about it. If you can break yours, another person can break his own.
All right, Justice. Thank you for calling the show.
I will test that power. And if I let them suspend me, they will suspend me now. I'll go to court, and court will reinstate me.
You're sure that the court will reinstate you?
Of course, we have seen it.
We've seen it.
Deputy governors. Is it a local government chairman that they need to state? Who will got first tired?
All right, Justice, I have to let you go.
And also, I need your number.
Okay.
I will personally need your number.
Okay. All right, sir. I will try to get it across to you. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Have a beautiful day. You can call to join the conversation this morning. Everything is happening at the same time. I am going to read you out the report and the press release from the EFCC this morning so that you'll know what exactly the EFCC is saying is their own part of the story, their side of the story this morning. Let's hear from you. Good morning.
This is still Amos Chukwu.
Okay, real quickly, Amos, there are other people on the lines.
There's days where we can justify the action of Soludo. Because in Nigeria, we have a set of governments. The federal, the state, and the local government. You understand me?
I'm with
and
you.
we have the judiciary, which is under the legislative.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that something that the Supreme Court have affirmed, even for me, in my own opinion, the only thing that this Tinubu administration have achieved is by, granting that local government autonomy.
Okay.
That's the only thing that I can say that this administration have achieved so far. But for the state governor to vehemently towards the other. In fact, it seems as the problem of Nigeria politically is unending. It's unending, I must tell you. Because the federal government gave their own allocation, the state gave their own allocation. Now they are trying everything possible to dwindle the local government areas to be subservient to the state, to be an appendage of the state government. So that they can do everything, so that they will keep on, impoverishing people at the local areas. Because I must tell you that the most important arm of government in Nigeria is that local government bishop. The local government. That is the most closest government to the populace. And when they deny them the right of getting their money directly from the federal government, which means they have denied the populace the right to have good facilities, good pipe-on water, good roads, electricity. You understand me?
Yes.
Because this is the closest government to the rural populace. And if you have the opportunity to travel to Abakaliki.
Please round off, Mr. Amos, please.
So what I'm trying to say is that what the Soludo have done is in fact, it's very unfortunate.
But there are other governors who are actually following Soludo's footsteps. So there must be something, there must be something in it.
What do you say?
I said there are other governors who are towing Governor Soludo's footsteps when it comes to handling the local government funds and their activities. So there must be a reason why they are doing that, don't you think?
The reason why they are doing that is for their own selfish interest. They are nothing again. Because when you can pick a local government chairman in a way of tampering with the funds of the local government, it's undemocratic and it is quite unproductive. Like I said earlier before now, the closest government to the populace is the local government area, which means they should be getting their funds directly so that they can attack on the better project in the rural areas.
All right, Amos, I have to let you go. Thank you so much for calling the show this morning. All right, I appreciate you calling the show. Good morning.
Good morning, maybe.
Good morning, my friend.
Yeah, how was your night?
It was fantastic. How are you feeling?
I'm okay. I'm okay. This is Simeon reading you from my phone.
Hey, Simeon, how are you today, sir?
I'm very much fine.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Maybe talking about what happened in Oba Radio Monday.
Yes.
The way you have your association as OAP.
Yes.
It's the same way we have our association as radio listeners.
That is true.
It has not been organized.
Okay.
Or registered. So I was listening to the program on Monday.
Okay.
Around 6:46. The program will last between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. So I was listening to the program around 6:35. So the EFCC operatives, they are heavily armed, and they came into the studio and interrupted the program. The lady was shouting, she's on air, but they succeeded in interrupting the program. Some of us felt that maybe the military have come to take over, because it's very unfortunate. All of us were traumatized, so we are very much confused on that very moment. We have not seen such happen in democracy.
That's right.
See whether there is an apology pouring in or not. We want to hear that those operatives, we want to hear that they have been arrested or
Is such a thing ever going to happen? Have you ever heard?
we
Do
want
you
to hear
think that
that they
such a
have been
thing
arrested
will ever happen?
or they have been sanctioned because it's a slap. It's a slap because this is you are, if everyone was like the person talking to the, you are talking to the public. You are talking to the public, and you know, a live studio is like altar. All the cable in a category, Diana wall, and then you carry gun to a baby Diana wall will say you have a petition because that's what they one of them were saying. I heard it. I have a you have a petition to answer. She was saying I'm on air when I'm done. They said no, they have to pull up the plug, and the radio station went off.
Actually, they turned off the transmitters themselves.
It's very unfortunate.
This is coming from the person involved. But the truth is, it's have we ever seen anybody take consequence or be accountable for behaviors like this?
That's the
Have we
country
ever?
we find ourselves. That's the country we find ourselves. Then then let me come to Ludo matter.
Yeah.
You know, our problem in this country is caused by professors. And you know, Soludo is one of them. Professors, professors have been rigging elections in this country for politicians. Professors have been in the government deceiving and stealing our resources. Professors have been involving in sex for match in our tertiary institutions. Professors have been involving in grabbing of land. It's very unfortunate. Those who are our children or those who we should be looking up to be giving us a disciplinary act are here, giving us what we don't with what we don't even understand. Was it not a professor that rigged the Enugu state election for Enugu state government?
Oh, we don't know about that, but that is allegedly your opinion. Simeon, you know better than to be so emotional about your comments. But let me remind you to keep your comments, contributions, and analysis simple and civil from the look of things. We do not want to break any rules nor regulations while we are trying to fix an already battered situation. Okay, let me give you the press release from the EFCC this morning concerning the situation with Urban Radio and of course their agents. This morning, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has cleared the air over the alleged invasion of Urban Radio 94.5 FM Enugu by a team from its Enugu Zonal Directorate on Monday, October 14th. The statement by EFCC Head of Media and Publicity Dele Oyewale on Tuesday said four officers of the commission went to the radio station to invite one Favor Echo, host of the Prime Time, a program running at the station for an alleged 700 million naira Ponzi scheme, but were blocked and eventually locked inside the premises. He said Miss Echo is being investigated by the Enugu Zonal Directorate of the EFCC in the alleged fraud involving about 50 victims. He noted that according to the victims, Echo allegedly lured them into investing in a scheme called live trading in a company known as Leverage Index Limited, where they were offered returns on investment of 10% of their capitals after a period of time. The statement read the victims alleged that after investing their money into the company located at number 1 Colliery Street, Obara Avenue, Enugu, the company closed its office with no return on investment or principal returned to the victims. Miss Eko allegedly invited the victims into the business and she remained the only link the victims could hold. He said the radio station officers, or rather, the radio station and the officers properly identified themselves and explained their mission to the general manager of the station, Mr. Bamikole Omoyomi,
But in a twist, the officers were held hostage because the gates were locked both in and out. Mr. Oyewole said the EFCC officers were left with no option than to call for a rescue team to eventually arrest Mrs. Eko and Mr. Banki Omoyomi and the two security guards that locked them in the premises. This is the statement of the EFCC. Good morning. Are you there?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, this is Chigozie.
You're welcome, Chigozie. How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
You're welcome.
I was actually on transit, so I think at the point I stopped getting the signal from
I'm
the
sorry.
station.
I'm sorry.
But I the initial headlines of the newspapers.
Mm.
Then you were explaining something when I lost the signal.
Please, what was I saying at the time?
Yeah, I will. Brother. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So sorry.
All right. Real
Yeah, I
quickly,
was
Chigozie.
I had to greet the military.
It's
So,
all right.
Yeah, I think you are trying to explain the EFCC stuff because when I saw
Yes.
this today on Twitter,
Mm.
I think someone mentioned that you guys station were also among the radio stations. So I was actually waiting to hear
Oh,
when you were
really?
speaking, and then I lost the signal. So I don't know if I can get a flashback on that.
Okay. Yeah, the stories has been on Twitter with a lot of people reacting to the situation, including those who probably invested in the so-called scam, scheme. Uh, we radio establishments, we let people come and advertise their products with us and services with us, and in most cases there are some technical problems, especially in cases like this. But the issue is not the reason why they were asking to take misfavor. I mean, nobody is above the law or even under it. We are all equal in the eyes of the law. So misfavor was under every right to be investigated, invited, petitioned against for whatever reason. She is a citizen of this country, but it was the manner at which she was taken that has caused the outburst in the media and other social platforms, because she was taken live on air with clients and audience of the urban radio establishment listening in on a live program. So that was not good for the establishment, for the presenter, and all of that. It was the technicalities of this that is causing the outrage on the media. We expect the invitation, we expect the petitions, and all of that. That is the process that we are mad at.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, that's it's okay. I don't really have all the information, but I also feel that the manner of the arrest and everything is not the best.
Mm-hmm.
They can do better. Then I actually want to comment on the headline that talks about I think Fashola asking Lagos to is it to streamline
Yes.
their registration of buildings.
Yes.
Maybe because that's my field. I
Okay.
feel other states should actually look into this because it feels so bad when someone will start building and then complete the building, maybe stay there for some years,
Okay.
and then government comes to demolish. So where was the government? Nobody built house in one day.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even build house in 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
So where was the government when the building was going on?
Mm.
So I think states or every state in Nigeria should look into their housing and development laws and see if there needs to improve on that, and you see like in Enugu here, you see a site, they will mark it bad either by Enugu Capital Territory or any other organization.
Yes.
And then you still see construction still going on there.
Okay, from a professional standpoint, why do you think that happens?
Okay, there are different reasons. There are corruption in this country. Sometimes you go to capital territory, maybe you get somebody working there, the person will say, okay, I will cover your sites for you. Pay me so amount of money. So what he does is that sometimes he comes and marks that badge. So when the other agencies the mark, they will feel okay, their team has been here, and then they won't disturb. They will feel that somebody is in charge of the site. You get, or maybe you can now call him should you have any issue with that. Then again, if they notice that building is lacking integrity, whatever, to exonerate themselves, sometimes they come and then mark the badge.
Okay.
Again, when you pay, what we do is that when we pay, because of all these bottlenecks in getting the approvals, so sometimes people pay, they won't wait for the approval and they will go and start building. Do you get? No, making the payment doesn't mean that you've gotten approval.
I see.
You understand?
Okay.
So when they notice that, or when they come to, because they will come to your site, ask for approval papers. You don't have, but what you have is receipt. They will definitely mark bad. I think that's to exonerate themselves in case there is any issue. They can now come and say, "Oh, we even stopped build construction work there." You understand?
So it has nothing to do with the planning of the town. It has nothing to do with integrity or actually doing their jobs.
No, most times it's about you not getting the approval. Of course, getting the approval, you have to submit all your drawings. They are supposed to go through them, make sure that it's in line with the layout of that area and then other fiscal policies. You understand? That's what they are meant to do. But it doesn't stop them from taking money from you. You pay into the government's coffer.
Okay.
And most times they will say, if you want to build, you may want to give us additional funds so that you can start building and we'll cover you.
I see.
But the normal thing is that you pay and you wait for approval. So now,
how long is one supposed to wait for this approval on the minimum?
That's the problem. You know, our people once they want to once they are ready to build, that's when they start going through all this process.
Okay.
If you want to build, you are supposed to start earlier to get all the necessary approvals. I'm talking about Enugu in particular because that's where I mostly operate. So, but if they make it seamless, people will be guided on this is how these things are done.
Maybe Chigozie, if you don't mind my asking, maybe you should come around the Volt FM office. I would like to talk to you and pick your brain on a few things and see if you can come on the program. How's that? Okay, I would like you to educate us on some of these things. You know, the way you say it, most times it's ignorance. Most times we don't know these things and how to go about them.
Exactly. Yeah.
I appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much for calling.
All the best.
You too. Have a very beautiful day ahead of you, Chigozie. All right. We have barely 10 minutes before I would run off this morning to do other things and let you concentrate on other things that you need to do today. But if you are lucky, you can still join me on the program this morning. 0706 048 5853 0915 570 8347. Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, my speaker.
Okay. Amos, I can see that you're on a roll this morning.
Hello?
I can hear you real quickly, sir.
Okay. EFCC putting up a disclaimer that they do not arrest the officials of urban radio. Let me tell you, this has just exposed the weakness of our
Okay, something is going on with your line, Amos. I must have to let you go this morning. But of course, you can keep your eyes on the news this morning. Check out High Voltage News on YouTube to get all the breaking news and breaking stories as they are dropping this morning on any related headlines that you need to check out today. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mavis, once again.
You're welcome once again. Who is this, please? Oh, welcome back, Simeon. How are you?
Mavis, the press release that you have given us.
Yes, sir.
I mean, at least it's a lesson to radio presenters or radio stations. Stop doing business with all this online, what are they? What is their name? What are they being called?
Mm.
All these online forex, these forex stars. These people, they have seen that the masses have taken radio stations or television stations as reliable source of information.
But we actually are.
As seen us as those who have seen radio and television as reliable source of information, they are no longer advertising themselves online. They are beginning to make use of the media to deceive the people. So it's very unfortunate. I pray that favor comes out from this, because that is not what he has expected any day or any time. So those who are in the media should be very, very much, they should be at alert.
Okay.
Those who went and report to EFCC, are they not aware of where Oba Radio is? For them to go and tell Oba Radio, this is what we have, this is what is going on in as regards to our money. It's very unfortunate. People are wicked. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Okoro Simeon, my good friend, for calling into the show this morning. It's about 55 minutes into 10 o'clock this morning, and we are moving in great speed. If you are lucky, you will just be one of my last callers before I would shut it down this morning. Let's talk to you. Good morning, real quickly, sir.
Please, thank you for that press review.
Yes, sir. Are you there?
I don't like it.
Oh my goodness.
Are you hearing me?
I am. Yeah, I can hear you now. Please.
Okay.
Okay.
I say thank you for that press review.
Okay, sir.
You see why it's not good for you to jump into cases like this. Trevor has been a very strong promoter of that leverage index.
Leverage index.
He has
Okay,
been a strong promoter.
You're saying this.
What?
You're saying this because you're saying this is your own information you're giving me right now.
She has been a strong promoter of that scheme.
Okay.
I don't want to call it until it is yet established at this point.
Okay.
She has been a strong promoter of it. So, I just like Okoro Simeon say, this is a lesson to other radio stations. When I called that day, when they said you can invest from, is it 1 million naira, something like that. I said, this money is too big for someone to invest money in this economy. But, why don't they bring it low? And they said no. You just the list of it then. So it's a lesson to some of us. It's, when somebody died, it's a lesson for the living. So it's a lesson for all of us. So that that is good.
Agreed.
That little one you have in your hand is more valuable to you, because you can you can enter transport with it. You can eat from there. You can solve all your problems.
Okay.
But when you took all your money and invest in one person, you have to think twice. You must have a backup if you are doing such investment.
All right, Justice. Thank you so much.
If you are doing such a thing,
All right, sir. Thank you very much for calling the show. I have quite enjoyed myself, and I've learned a bunch of things this morning myself. And I will also like to comment that if everybody did their jobs, we will save each other some of these troubles. If the people who register the businesses, the corporate affairs, if the NIM, if the agencies and institutions that are supposed to check certain behaviors and certain activities in this country, radio stations, they sell airtime. We sell airtime to people who want to advertise their goods and services, to use our platforms to sell their goods and their services. Mostly, we are not security agencies. We are not security operatives. So I would like to say that if we can come together and let everyone do their jobs. Chicos, they just mentioned that people do not do what is right. We don't do the right thing and then we expect very different results. We don't play the professional roles that we're supposed to play in our different responsibilities, in our different positions. And that this combobulation is destabilizing everybody, because if the NCC did their jobs, if the NIM did their job, if the corporate affairs does their job, when it comes to my job, I will do it without getting into any trouble. So I'm just saying, this is a lesson to all of us to watch our movement, to watch the way that we're carrying on, because the little things that we are doing is having a very boomerang effect on our psyche as a people. It's affecting us all. So like the Igbos will say, when one hand is dipped into oil, there is consequence of it touching every other finger on the roll. So on that note, I would leave you this morning, and I will ask you to be good to yourself and to everyone else around you so that we can make sense of this place that we are in. All right, try to have a good day ahead of you and look out for your mental health as well. I am Mavis Atudume. I'll see you again tomorrow morning on High Voltage. Good morning.